Okay, so think about the last app you opened on your phone. Was it just easy or was it a total headache? That feeling you get, whether it's satisfaction or pure frustration, it all comes down to one thing: the user interface. It's this kind of invisible bridge that connects us to all our technology, and today we're going to figure out exactly how that bridge is built. Let's kick things off with a quote that really hits the nail on the head. To most users, the user interface is the system. Just let that sink in for a second. All the brilliant code, the powerful servers, the massive databases, honestly, none of that matters to the person using it. Their entire reality of the system is what they see and touch on the screen. The buttons, the menus, that is the system to them. So if the interface literally is the system for most of us, that leads to a huge question. What's the difference between a tool that feels like an extension of your own mind and one that just feels like a frustrating roadblock? Why do some apps feel so natural while others make you want to throw your phone across the room? Well, you guessed it, it's all in the design. All right, so let's get down to basics. What even is a user interface, or a UI, as we all call it? The best way to think about it is as the system's front door. It's the only way in, the first thing you see, and it sets the tone for your entire visit. See, at its core, a UI is the space where a conversation happens. It's a two-way street between you and the machine. You tell it what to do, and it shows you the results. It's not just about pretty colors and fonts. It's everything you see, everything you touch, everything you use to get things done. But here's the really cool paradox of great UI design. The best interfaces, they're the ones you don't even notice. They're so intuitive, so seamless, that they just get out of your way and let you focus on what you're actually trying to accomplish. They become, well, invisible. And like any good conversation, a UI has two distinct parts. There's what you say to the system, and then there's what the system says back to you. Getting this balance right is absolutely fundamental to making a great interface. Think of it like this. Every single click, every tap, every word you type, that's the action language. It's you telling the system, hey, do this. The system's response, the charts that pop up, the data it shows you, the little confirmation messages, that's the presentation language. A great UI just weaves these two together so perfectly that the whole interaction feels totally effortless. Okay, so we get the basics, but how do designers actually build an interface that feels so natural? Well, one really powerful method is called the ROCMC framework. It's basically a blueprint for building a better user experience. ROMC stands for Representation, Operation, Memory Aid, and Control Aid. Now, that might sound a little technical, but it breaks down pretty simply. It's about how the system shows you information, what it lets you do, how it helps you remember things, and finally, how it gives you control. Let's break each of those down. So let's dive in and unpack this ROMC method, starting with the very first pillar, which is all about what you see on the screen. First up, we've got R for representation. This is all about how the system presents information back to you. We're not talking about just dumping a bunch of raw data. It's about structuring and visualizing that data in a way that gives it meaning, that gives it context, so you can make a smart decision. And this can look like a lot of different things, right? It could be a simple table, a detailed graph, a complex map, whatever. The key is to pick the right format to make complicated info easy to understand at a glance. The goal is for you to get it without having to be a data scientist. Next, let's talk about O for operation. This is the doing part of the equation. It's all the specific actions and tasks the system is built to help you perform. Basically, what can you actually do with this thing? For example, in a business tool, an operation might be processing huge data sets, tracking market trends as they happen, or running deep analytics to find some hidden insight. These are the powerful jobs at the very heart of the system. Okay, on to M for memory aid. This one's huge. A really well-designed system doesn't make you remember everything. It shouldn't. Instead, it acts like an extension of your own brain, taking some of that mental load off your shoulders so you can work faster and smarter. So when you see things like one-click access to a massive data warehouse, or keyboard shortcuts for tasks you do all the time, or even routines you can save and run again later, these aren't just little conveniences. They are critical memory aids that make a system feel truly powerful and easy to use. And finally, we have C for control aid. This is all about putting you, the user, in the driver's seat. Control aids are what give you the power and the flexibility to manage what you're doing without being afraid that you're going to mess something up permanently. And we see these everywhere, every day. I mean, think about it. Edit, undo, save, delete. These are the absolute basics of user control. They give you a safety net, which actually encourages you to explore and try things out, because you know you can always go back. So when you put all those ROMC pieces together, representation, operation, memory, and control, you really start to see the recipe for an effective interface. It's how you build that experience that feels so seamless, it's almost invisible. Looking back really shows us how far we've come. Those early command line interfaces, they were incredibly powerful, for sure, but man, they put a massive burden on the user. You had to memorize a whole new complicated language just to get anything done. The big game changer, of course, was the Graphical User Interface, or GUI. By using visual metaphors we all understand, like an icon that looks like a file folder or a trash can for deleting things, GUIs opened up technology for everybody. They naturally baked in those ROMC principles: clear representations, intuitive operations, and simple controls. So in the end, that's what a great UI does. It finds that perfect sweet spot between the technical power of the system and the way a human being actually thinks. It helps you make fewer mistakes, it makes you faster, it feels logical, and it creates a flawless, easy conversation between you and your machine. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As our systems get smarter and smarter, as they start using voice commands, virtual reality, maybe even predicting what we need, are we heading toward a future where the perfect interface is no interface at all, one that we just don't even notice? What do you think?